always feel small standing next to Rabbi Lynn, in many ways. Thank you. Thank you. Let me begin with the simple words, thank you. Thank you to the Almighty, the one above, for bringing us all here together for this special evening, honoring this special cause. I thank God for allowing me tonight and every night when I come to teach at the center to be a part of the greatest miracle of our times. Each of you. I end almost every class the way I'd like to begin tonight, by making sure that we all understand, that each of us understands what a miracle we are. This night is statistically impossible. According to everything we know about human history, it is simply not possible. Thousands of years after Avram said there's a God, and after that God said, your children will be like the stars in heaven, here we are, Avram's stars. After the Egyptians tried to destroy us, the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Romans, the inquisitors of the Inquisition of Spain, the kings of France, and most recently the Germans, all have tried. All of history's evils have tried. And there are those who are trying now. And yet here we are, celebrating Jewish continuity. They took millions from us, it's true, and it's painful. And millions more have disappeared through assimilation, but, and this is the important part that you have to understand, everyone in this room, each and every one of you, comes not just from the blood of Avram and Sarah, but from the determination, the hopes, and the dreams of grandparents and great-grandparents who held on long enough to hand the future of the Jewish people to us. And here we are. It is the year 2025, and I look out at you, our students. I see you're young and you're beautiful, you're successful, and here you are living in the greatest city in the world, the greatest city ever known to man. You could be anywhere tonight. You could be anywhere, and you're here. And you are here. And to that I say, Am Yisrael Chai. Rabbi Lynn, Shmuel, you are my friend of more than 30 years. It is true that I introduced you and insisted that you join me on my journey towards a more meaningful Jewish life. But you, my friend, have taken that road to much greater heights, and you have scaled all the way to the heavens, and I'm incredibly proud of you. Yes. Elizabeth and I are so proud to call you and Ruthie our dear friends, and I thank you, Reb Shmuel, for now bringing me into your world, first at Penn, and now here in New York. You are a giant amongst men, and I am grateful that you are my friend. Our work here has just begun. I recently brought an idea on how to build out from here and take all the greatness that is Olami and share it with the world. I brought this idea to Rabbi Lynn, who took the idea and then crafted into something very special, exactly what it needed. You will hear more about that in the future, but it's exciting, and it's how we will use the technology of today, the technology of our times, to share the traditions of eternity. We will offer the Olami class that is given to 100, and we'll share it with the eyes and ears of thousands. Stay tuned. But none of this is possible without some incredible people, the people who make these dreams come true. And to that, I want to give my sincere thanks to the board of Manhattan Olami for your enormous dedication and support. And I recently learned just how hard Rabbi David Markowitz works to make all of Olami work. And to you, David, I say thank you. And to Rabbi Blockman and the entire staff at Olami Manhattan, absolutely incredible people, to each and every one of you, thank you. And to all of you, to our family and our friends who have offered your support and who have made the effort to be here tonight, Elizabeth and I thank you. And I truly believe that your parents and your grandparents who handed you this tradition and look to you to build the Jewish future are deeply proud of you, and they thank you too. Speaking of parents and grandparents, it is hard to describe how grateful I am that my parents are here tonight. My 95-year-old father brought his 29-year-old wife, and they are both here with us. And that means everything to me. Mom and Dad, my love of the Jewish people comes from growing up in your home. Thank you. To our children, our greatest joy, you have given Mommy and me more nachas than you can possibly imagine. I adore you, and Mommy and I cannot be more proud of who you are, and perhaps more importantly, who each of you strive to be. We stand in awe of the gift Hashem has given us in each of you. Elizabeth, I will keep it brief. I have everything in the world, but I have nothing without you. I love you. There is one family here tonight that without whom none of this would be possible. Without whom none of us would be here. To say that they are outstanding would be an incredible understatement. They are, in fact, spectacular. Under the leadership of Uncle Aaron, they have taken the legacy of their legendary father, the great Zev Wolfson Olav Shalom, perhaps one of, if not the greatest Jewish philanthropist of his generation, and they have actually managed to build upon it. Moshe and Ariel, you have been our dear friends for many years. We have been blessed to share simchas, family trips. We've even shared your nephew and my daughter. Elizabeth and I could not value our friendship more. Aaron and Ellen, I am so incredibly grateful to you. With the blessings from above, your generosity has made all of this possible. Your rare dedication and concern for those Jews who, unlike you and your family, were not blessed to grow up in Torah-focused homes is simply remarkable. But through the support and the love of the Wolfson family, you provide that blessing for all who yearn for it. You provide that blessing for thousands. I am honored to stand before you and to stand with you, that I can be part of your efforts, that I can possibly help those efforts, that I can be even associated with you and the entire Wolfson family is humbling. And I consider it one of the greatest gifts, opportunities, and indeed responsibilities that I have ever been given. Thank you for thinking highly enough of me to ask that I join your efforts. I promise to try and never let you down. Tonight, as Rabbi Lynn said, our theme is our finest hour. Words uttered by the great Winston Churchill as England was facing the onslaught of the Germans in World War II. He called out with his hope that future generations of Englishmen would say, that generation, it was their finest hour. And as we saw tonight, we face an onslaught of our own. It is said that while one cannot control the times they were born into, they can control how they respond to their times. So how will we respond? Because we have no choice but to make sure our children and grandchildren will one day say, that was their finest hour. So what are we supposed to do? Well, we have a tradition that teaches us exactly what to do. We have a tradition that says every evil we face today is not new. We have seen this before. We have defeated it every time. Those of you who have taken my Torah classes know that I implore you not to see the Torah as a history book written about others, but rather as a cry from the heavens to understand who we are, where we come from, and who we could be. When the Greeks came and nearly destroyed the Jewish nation, an old man and his brave sons stood up and fought. The odds were impossible, and yet here we are. And every year we light our menorah because they answered the call to what was their finest hour. Hundreds of years later, when the Jews of Persia faced complete annihilation, Mordecai said to Esther, the Jews will survive. The question is, will you be the force to make it happen? She tells him, bring the Jews together to give her the strength of their achdus, and she will go to the king. And today, every Purim, thousands of years later, here we are. We read the book of Esther. She rose to her finest hour. Last week, we read the book of Ruth. And we have to remember that there were 3 women in that story. There was Ruth, there was her mother-in-law Naomi, and there was Orpah. They had nothing. Their future could not have been more bleak. And yet, we have to remember that Orpah felt the pain. She also cried. She clung to Naomi. But when it was time to make the decision of what to do, she left. And our tradition has little good to say about her. But it was Ruth who called out, your people are my people. Where your people go, I go too. Your people are my people. From Ruth comes David HaMelech, King David, along with redemption, and along with her telling us loud and clear, how do we respond right now? We cry out, your people are my people. Your pain is my pain. And your future, the Jewish future, is my future. That's how we respond. We stand ever more proud and determined. We stand ever more proud and ever more determined. If you come to a class on Tuesday with live music and great food and lots of wonderful people, it's wonderful. Enjoy it. But then come on Wednesday and take that Torah class and discover who you are. Your people are my people. Waiting for you at that class are Avram and Sarah, Yitzchak and Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Yaakov. They're waiting for you. And so is Esther and Ruth. Be that Maccabee that we so desperately need. Light that Shabbos candle that needs to be lit. Take on mitzvahs. Come for Shabbos and bring your friends who also need to know who they are. And if you haven't gone on an Olami trip to Israel, go! And if you have gone, go again. Elizabeth and I met an Olami trip in Israel last year, and in one day, we cried and said Kaddish with young Israelis at Nova, Israelis who had actually been there, not actors, Israelis who had lost their friends. We hugged them, we cried with them, and then we danced with them to show them that there is still a future. That same day, we then worked a vineyard of a winemaker who needed help because his sons, who were usually there, were in Gaza fighting and looking for the hostages. And then after that, we went to the Kotel and we prayed. And we prayed our hearts out, all in one day. That was one day in a trip of Olami in Israel. And I want you to know something. I want you to know what all those prayers at the Kotel came down to. They came down to one thing. One thing at that Kotel. We all said the same thing. Your people are my people. And we stand together. Am Yisrael Chai. That's what we said at the Kotel. The story of the Maccabees, the book of Esther, the book of Ruth, have all been written. And now we must write our book. This is the moment when you, each one of you, writes your book. And you must write it so that future generations, your children and your grandchildren, will say, this was their finest hour. So that you will one day look at your children and your grandchildren, and you will say to them, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Write your book. Start now. Write your book. Thank you.